Hi, this is Joyce. Another week. One never knows what's going to happen, but today, for me, and I hope for all of you soon, something positive will happen. I just got my first Moderna vaccine shot against COVID-19. I can't tell you how relieved I feel, or I guess I can tell you how relieved I feel to be on the way out of COVID. So far, so good. Don't feel anything today. I'm sure I'll be with you next week. In fact, the fiascos that you've been reading about trying to get the vaccine, they're all true, but that's in the past. It looks like folks are getting their act together, and I sat next to a teacher who got his vaccine today, and so many others. And it was easy and a pleasure, and I have my return appointment in a month. So for me, I'm so excited because it means isolation is not in the cards. And I gotta tell you, after reading about the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill that Biden has, life is going to come roaring back after we have this new administration and after we're all vaccinated, or at the very least have Dr. Mina's public health tests available for everyone. It will be the way to stop outbreaks. It'll be the way to identify those who are asymptomatic and carrying the virus. We could go back to the theater, to museums, to work, to school, and not be afraid. For all those who are suffering and all those who have lost loved ones, I can only say that my heart and so many others are with you, and we feel so sad for what you've gone through. However, this hopefully we will have learned from, and when the next pandemic comes along, we will have those globalized platforms so that we can, in a hurry, have the right procedures in place, take care of ourselves and each other, and re-identify with our communities as we all combat disease together. Just like we're going to have to combat pollution. A young man in England today won an appeals case because he can't afford to go back to Bangladesh. He has COPD. His lungs are shot. And Bangladesh, out of all the countries in the world, I think is about 149 out of all the countries. So to make him go back to Bangladesh would really commit his life to sudden death. So he will remain in England. The Trump administration, I think this is once and done. Once we get rid of the people who have caused the insurrection, I found that the polling is not in their favor. It isn't in Trump's favor. It isn't in the favor of the terrorists who have committed this act of storming the Capitol and still think that they are going to make targets out of our mayors or our governors. We don't know the states, all of them, but preparedness is coming. The FBI is working, the military is working, the police are working, and they're working to rout out those people who have become part of the far-right movement. And that's for the better. It's unfortunately not only in our country. With Trumpism here, there was Farage in Britain, and the Tories, they're not going to be in power much longer either. You've got Marie Le Pen. I don't think her base is coming back anytime soon. And Angela Merkel is looking at the far right in her country as well. This is a time for all of us to pull together, not fly apart, not at all. We have real problems to solve in America. When I look around me and I drive up any of the avenues in a cab, there are so many vacant stores. The people who work in my building have informed me the mom and pop shops that were up in the Bronx and Harlem, they're gone. That all needs to be rebuilt. And we know it's going to be rebuilt. Because I am convinced that when COVID is over, we're going to come together as a nation. We've done it before, we'll do it again. Only this time, it won't be unequal opportunity and unequal justice. This time, I'm hoping for equal opportunity and equal justice. Biden's bill calls for $1.9 trillion of stimulus, $1,400 in stimulus checks to those who qualify, expanded unemployment benefits, expanded child care benefits. I think there is something there for, I know, solar panels and electric cars. If it's not in the bill, it should be, because the people are looking to go green. And that's what we need so that we don't have climate catastrophes any longer, and that we start cleaning up our polluted areas. I'm glad that corporations have decided it is no longer in their best interest to fund and enable the far right. I will be even happier when impeachment starts and the Republican Party owns up to the lies they have been telling for 4 years. It's the only right thing to do, to let people know that they were substituting someone who didn't care about them at all for real government and real faith in their community. It's a pity so many followed Trump, but Trump was giving you lies and false tales, and meanwhile, he wasn't helping out we the people. The lower and middle classes were left to starve and die. It's hard to know when somebody who you would like to listen to lies like that, and you give them your heart and your soul. But lie he did, and those who followed him were like puppets. He was Sengali, and he pulled your strings. Hopefully, we will not hear too much more from the far right, because I'm convinced that government is now serious about looking to see who's the sympathizers, who are the insurrectionists in our police forces and in our military. And we will identify everyone and give them the appropriate punishment. In Congress, whether it's on the federal or the state level, we have a mechanism. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution, Section 3. Any seditious act, you can remove an individual for not following their oath of office and the Constitution. And you can then bar them from serving in public office forever. The framers were absolutely prescient in their writings of the Constitution. They knew what could happen. They were vague in how it's enforced, but they understood that one had to be vigilant if you wanted to make sure that you didn't have an autocrat coming to power or another insurrection. So I think our future is bright. I don't say you don't have to worry, but I do say I think that we're taking precautions to make sure that our government is safe and secure so that we can move forward together and build back better. There's no question in my mind, when given a chance, Americans have the know-how, the expertise, the creativity, and the gumption to do what's right and to do it so it lasts. So I guess perhaps I'm looking at new beginnings. For me, it started with the Moderna vaccine. See you next week and let you know if I've got any ill effects at all. I am dressed, obviously, so I could go have my vaccination with a short sleeve shirt, didn't have to remove anything. 1, 2, 3, easy. And I'm still on a slight high, thinking that, oh my God, after all these months, for me, it will be a year that I have been in semi-isolation. So take care, everyone. Let's think about each other, our communities, our families, our churches, whatever gives us comfort. And know that there is an end in sight. And when it happens, it'll be a wonderful family to unite as the family of man. Take care, and God bless everyone. Bye now. See you next week.